Our recipient tonight is an entrepreneur, an artist, an educator, a community leader, an advocate. He's passionate. He is tireless in his devotion to his family, his work, his community, his constant pursuit of artistic excellence. To coin a phrase, to know him is to love him. As a 15-year-old boy, he studied art, photography, sculpture, design, and architecture. He went on to earn a degree in fine arts. He made a name for himself very early in his career by pushing the boundaries of artistic excellence to a very uncomfortable edge. He built his first outdoor deck for minimum wage, and in 1993, he founded his own building company. He didn't just start a building company that builds things. He started a revolution. His passion for his work in the environment led him to focus on sustainability efforts surrounding construction work and went on to help start the Center on Sustainable Communities. In 2006, he established Indigo Dawn as a green development firm dedicated to urban infill and existing building conversions. He initiated a mixed-use rehabilitation project, Green in Maine, intended to pilot best practices for historic masonry buildings in rural communities. He is the co-founder and past board president of Center for Sustainable Communities. He served as chairperson of Metro Arts Alliance. He is a founding member of Clive's Public Art Commission. Most importantly, he is an artist who lives and breathes the innovative spirit that made us all love Dave so much. He pushes boundaries. He lives in a world of what ifs and why nots. And when you least expect it, he sucks you into his world. And you find out that you're better for it. I'd like to read from a blog written last year by our recipient. Artists possess the capacity to make the unavailable accessible. Sometimes the sublime is beautiful, sometimes it's intense and painful, but the art reframes reality so we can ask deeper questions about ourselves and the world that surrounds us. Art mirrors the subtle, disguised facets of the human condition, exposing vulnerabilities and stimulating the potential for dialogue and exploration, even when the conversation feels awkward and uncomfortable. To know him is to love him. I hope that you will help me congratulate the 2017 G. David Hurd Innovator in the Arts Award recipient, Chaden Halfhill. We have a couple of things for Chaden. First of all, we'd like to present you with this. And second, for those of you who know Chaden, you know that the beauty of meeting with Chaden, getting him to a certain point. He'll grab whatever napkin, whatever is around, he'll pull out his pen and he'll start writing, doodling, won't he?
Absolutely.
So we have for you a journal that you can draw and write to your heart's content. This is by Austin artist Michael Mitchell. She's done our show before, but this is an original piece of artwork made just for you, right? And you would like to also, in your honor, make a contribution to your pet project, Green in Maine.
Oh,
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah, get in.
it's kind of hard to hold it back.
And I'm not giving you the microphone.
David, I just want to tell you one thing, because it's interesting. David means a lot to me. Always has. What isn't said is I grew up next door to him. In fact, I used to go through his backyard to get to the friend's house. and I used to get yelled at by his wife. Pat, not Trudy. I met Trudy later on. But one of the interesting stories is, David always had a unique take on life, and I think I was probably, 10, 11, something like that. And I'm running through his backyard, and he's hanging upside down in his moon boots. And he's, stretching doing whatever you do when you're in those upside down boots. But he always looked at things a little differently. But for me, when you kind of pave a different path, and I think he paved a different path. In fact, I remember the first time I saw him on his TV with his ponytail, I was like, oh sweet, the world's changing. CEOs got a ponytail. I'm like, really good. But he was always consistent. He always showed up at events. For me, I was a kid of newspaper circulation director and a Firestone pipe fitter. And I'm like, what can I become? What can I do with my life? And I go off to school, and he would come to my wedding, to the high school events, whatever you call them, the graduation events. He just would come. He would show up. We didn't know each other that well, but it was his presence that continued to kind of reaffirm that I was going in a good direction. And then we would bump into each other, and I'd see his work in nonprofits, and it kept me motivated to stay engaged in the community. Not that the motivation wasn't there, but it reaffirmed it. And it was that sense of connectivity that he brought to me as a young person that I continue to carry forward. And that's partly where that blog came from last year. So I should shut up now.